Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. So today I have a fun book haul for you guys. I was going to say a fun little book haul, but it is not going to be very small. I think I have 30 plus books here. Well, right now I have around 20. But I just recently found out that on Facebook, like Marketplace, there's some Facebook groups and people sell their books on there for really cheap. And this past week, your girl, she ordered a lot of books. So I've been waiting for those to come in. I do want to put them in this video as well because I don't want to make too many book hauls, because I think the video, there's one video up on my channel and the one before that is another book haul, so I don't want to post too many book hauls on my channel. Yes, I have a lot of books. It's going to be a long video, so grab a snack and I'm just gonna get started. Some of these books were, a lot of these books actually were gifted to me. Some of them are for book clubs. I will let you know all of that information. So the first book I actually just got from the library today. So I don't own this, but I will be having this in my possession for 2 weeks. So I wanted to put it in this video, and that is the Mary Shelley Club by, I see the last name, but her first name's like covered on the sticker, so I don't know. Oh, Goldie Moldavsky, and this is like a YA thriller mystery novel, and I guess it's very reminiscent to like the Scream movies, so I'm super excited to read this. I've heard incredible things. It's about like a book club, and I think they talk about like horror movies. Yeah, I'm super excited to read this, and I do want to say that I'm going to be going through these books very quickly. One, because I don't know what most of them are about, and two, there is a lot of books in this book haul, so I don't want to be here for too long. So next up, I have 2 books that are for a book club that I'm so excited to talk about. Some of you might know that one of my best friends here on BookTube is Jan from Jan Agaton. Well, that's just her full name, Jan Agaton. But yes, she just announced that she's doing a book club, and it's called the Full Moon Book Club. It's such a cute, like, concept. Every full moon, it's when the discussion will be for that book, and she announced the first 3 books. So for May, we are reading, well, it's not my book club, but I'm saying we because I'm gonna be joining. But the first book is The Lost Apothecary, and that is the May pick. And then for June is Arsenic and Adobo. And then for July, we're going to be reading Forever Interrupted by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I did buy that book. It'll probably be later on in this video. Yes, I did buy Forever Interrupted from those Facebook groups that I talked about. And let me get to Lost Apothecary first. So this one is like a historical fiction / fantasy novel, and I guess it's set in the 18th century in London, and it's about like a secret apothecary and just mysterious stuff. I don't really know much about this book either, so I'm super excited to read it. I've heard great things, and I will obviously be reading this for Jan's book club. And then the second book for Jan's book club, like I said, is Arsenic and Adobo. So excited to read this. It has a Filipino rep, and I believe it's by a Filipino author, Mia Menenzala. Super excited to read this. I think that this book is about this woman who owns like a restaurant, and one day her ex-boyfriend, who is a food critic, goes in and he is poisoned, so they think that she did it. And there is a wiener dog in the cover, and I don't know if they'll mention this wiener dog in the book, but I'm super excited. And like I said, the July pick is Forever Interrupted by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I do have that book. Well, I bought it. It's not here yet, but you will see that book later on in this video. I just wanted to add it in this little section because I'm talking about Jan's book club. So I just wanted to let y'all know all of the picks. So next up, I think there are 5 books, and I will explain very briefly. This is for another book club. These 5 books are for another book club, and this is a book club that I'm actually hosting. I am hosting this book club with my job. I work for an arts and culture center here where I live, and my boss asked me to start a book club, so I did, and these are the picks for that. For now, we are doing Zoom discussions, so if you are interested in joining, you definitely can. But later on, we will move to in-person discussions, and those will be held in Ohio. So it does, obviously, I know some people that watch me do live in Ohio, but not everyone does. So that's just a disclaimer. I'm going to totally forget which month we're reading these in. But one of the picks is Tales from La Vida, and it's a Latinx comics anthology. I don't really know like the theme or anything, but all of the books will be by Latinx authors because we are a Latinx arts and culture center. So yes, this is the first one. Super excited to read it. I don't know the theme, but it's a graphic novel, so it's a very quick and easy read, so I'm excited to get to it. The next book is a memoir, and I've been so excited to read this book, and that book is In the Dream House by Carmen Maria Machado, and this is a memoir. I don't know exactly what the memoir is about, obviously about her life. I'm looking at the back here. It says psychological abuse, and each chapter is driven by its own narrative trope: the haunted house, erotica, etc., etc. Wow, that sounds super interesting. I'm so excited to read this. The next one is super short. This is a poetry collection called Peluda by Melissa Losada Olivia. Again, it's a poetry collection. I'm not too sure what it's about. I just chose it because it's a Latinx poet. So I'm gonna look back here and see some of the themes. Poems make space for themselves beautifully, spilling blood and opening bodies to illuminate the trauma of living as a brown woman in America. So excited to read this. Next up, I have I kind of know what this book's about, but I'm really nervous because this is a non-fiction novel and I don't really read a lot of these, but this is called Harvest of Empire, A History of Latinos in America by Juan Gonzalez, and it's just a little bit of a study of Latinos in US history. So like I said, I'm a little nervous to read this. It's pretty long and I usually don't read books like this, but I will be reading this for my book club. And the last pick for the book club, I'm so excited because this is a book that I've been wanting to read and I kind of like fit it in there so I can read it for my pleasure and also job related stuff, and that is Mexican Gothic by Silvia Moreno Garcia. Obviously a horror thriller. Is it a thriller? I think it's just horror, but I'm not too sure. But it's like a horror Gothic type of novel set in, well, is it set in the 1950s? I don't know what I'm talking about. Okay, so it says on here, a reimagining of the classic Gothic suspense novel, a story about an isolated mansion in 1950s Mexico and the brave socialite drawn to its treacherous secrets. Excited to read this. I've heard mixed opinions about this book, so I'm excited to read it and see whether I like it or hate it.
Alright, we're getting through these books fairly quickly, I think.
Alright, so next up we have a couple of presents from friends. I'm so excited. So first off, I have Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo. I don't know why I wasn't holding it up. And this was sent to me by Kat from Booktube Beginnings, my great dear friend. I love you. Thank you for sending this to me. Shadow and Bone is one of my favorite fantasy YA series and I didn't own it, so I'm so excited to finally own a copy of Shadow and Bone. Actually, today is the day that Shadow and Bone, the TV show, came out on Netflix, and I'm going to be watching it later today and I'm just so excited for it. So yes, maybe I'll do a reread of this series sometime soon. I was going to explain what this book's about, but I feel like everyone knows.
Another present we got from a cutie.
So next up I have My Sister the Serial Killer by, oh my god, I'm not gonna be able to say this correctly, I'm so sorry. Oyinkan Braithwaite, sorry. And this was sent to me by Savannah from Riveting Reads, another dear friend of mine. Super excited to read this. I do have this for a secret TBR video that's coming up. And basically I believe that this novel is about this woman and she finds out that her sister is a serial killer and she's trying to like help her hide like the bodies or the crimes. Honestly, I'm not sure. I'm sorry. Next up is another book, and it is, well, they're all books, Naomi, so shut up. But this one is also for a secret TBR video, and that is Case Closed by Gosho Aoyama. And this is the volume 1. Like I said, for a secret TBR video, this is a graphic novel slash manga, I think. And I think it's about this really young, cute detective, and it should be a lot of adventure and fun. I'm hoping it's a little bit of like a Sherlock Holmes type of thing. So I'm excited to read it. So next up, I have 2 more books from my great friend Kat from Booktube Beginnings. I don't know why, but she got me 2 books out of nowhere. I love her. She got me Thousandth Floor by Katherine McGee. I think she got this for me because I mentioned that I just read and loved American Royals by Katherine McGee. I've heard, I think this is more of like a fantasy, but it does have a lot of drama. So I've heard this compared to like Gossip Girl. Super excited. It's set in Manhattan. I can't ever say that right. Manhattan. In 2118. I believe is the year 2118. So that's interesting. Like I said, I read American Royals and I adored that book. So I'm super excited to read this.
The way that I've said super excited to read this so many times.
Next up, Kat also got me another book, and that is Angelfall by Susan E. This is a dystopian novel about fallen angels. And I'm just gonna keep it short and sweet. It's like an apocalypse type of book. And like I said, about fallen angels, dystopian novel.
Super excited to read this.
Next up, I have a book that I picked up at Walmart, and that is The Lake by Natasha Preston. This is like a YA thriller novel. I actually really enjoy YA thrillers. I know that they're looked down upon in the book community sometimes. But I was super interested in reading this. I've heard that Natasha Preston was one of those like Wattpad writers, and usually on Wattpad I feel like you have to have very gripping novels in order to like keep readers' attention, honestly. So I think it should be a pretty quick, fun read. I actually had the arc for the twin. I got it at Y'all Fest, but I never got to it. I never read it, so I just gave it to somebody else. Campers at Camp Pine Lake. These 2 girls come back and they are now counselors in training. Apparently one of them did something terrible when they were campers, and it's a secret that they've kept all of these years, and they vow that this summer will be awesome, but then they get a message. The lake never forgets. This sounds like that one Riley Sager book that is set like in a camp, but like YA. Next up, another present from a lovely person. I have The Midnight Library by Matt Haig, and this one was sent to me by Mackenzie from MackenzieReads_ on Instagram. So it says in here, between life and death there is a library. The books in the Midnight Library enable Nora to live as if she had done things differently. Oh, that's interesting. Like, I love books like that where you see like different outcomes to your life if you had done things differently. I've heard that this is a very emotional book and it's made a lot of people cry. So again, I'm excited to read this. Thank you so much, Mackenzie, for sending this my way. I have another book that was gifted to me. I love my friends so much, and this one is Firefly Lane by Kristen Hanna, and this one was sent to me by Kristen from Kristen's Corner. I do know that it has a Netflix TV show, I believe. Yes. Original series. Summer of 1974, Kate Malarkey has accepted her place at the bottom of the 8th grade social food chain. Then, to her amazement, the coolest girl in the world moves in across the street and wants to be her friend. Tully Hart seems to have it all: beauty, brains, ambition. On the surface, they are as opposite as 2 people can be. They make a pact to be best friends forever. By summer's end, they've become Tully and Kate inseparable. For 30 years. I adore books that follow like characters for many, many years, and this one says that it follows them through 3 decades? For 30 years, yes. So 3 decades. Super excited to read this, and it's a chunky one, so we'll see when I get to this.
Next up, I have another present.
So I have Anna K by Jenny Lee, and this was a present from, oh my god, my bangs, what the heck. So this was a present from Jan Agaton, and she got me this as a present for hitting 1K on YouTube, so thank you so much, Jan.
What is this book about?
I know that it's an Anna Karenina, I think. Anna Karenina retelling, and I love, like, I know Anna Karenina is not like a fairy tale, but I love fairy tale retellings, so I'm excited. I do think that I'm gonna be a little lost because I don't think I've ever watched or read, well, I've never read it, or I really just don't know anything about Anna Karenina, so I might be a little lost, but it follows a 17-year-old girl, Anna K, at the top of Manhattan and Greenwich society. She has a perfect boyfriend, and she has always made her Korean American father proud. She meets Alexia, a notorious playboy. Alexia is everything Anna is not. He has never been in love until he meets Anna, and maybe she hasn't either, when a shocking revelation threatens to shatter their new relationship. Anna is forced to question if she has ever known herself at all. Interesting. I'm reading this for a Sacred TBR video very soon, so you can expect my thoughts in a video coming up. Next up, I have another present, and that is Ugly Love by Colleen Hoover, and this was sent to me by Cami from Borrows and Books, another one of my great friends. So I've been getting into Colleen Hoover lately. I've read, I think, 2 or 3 books by Colleen Hoover, and I've heard that this one is really great. I think this is the one with the pilot. So I guess it's sort of like a relationship that it's supposed to be no strings attachment, but I'm assuming that one of them is going to catch some feelings. Again, I'm super excited to read this book. Colleen Hoover's books are so fast and easy read, so I'm excited. I feel like Colleen Hoover's like the only romance author that I can read, because I normally don't really love romance novels, and Colleen Hoover's are just my favorite, honestly. Next up, we have a book that was sent to me. This was sent to me by Penguin Teen, and that is House of Hollow by Crystal Sutherland. So this one is kind of like a magical realism and mystery book, and it is YA as well. This book follows Iris Hollow and her 2 older sisters, who are unquestionably strange. As children, they disappeared on a Scottish city street, only to return a month later with no memory of what had happened to them, or where they had been. More troubling, their appearance began to change, their blue eyes now black, their dark hair now white, and as they grew older, odd, eerie occurrences seemed to follow in their wake. People find them disturbingly intoxicating, unbearably beautiful, and inexplicably dangerous. Ooh. That just reminded me of the Virgin Suicides for some reason. Now, 17-year-old Iris is doing all she can to fit in to graduate high school on time, something her 2 famous, glamorous, gobble-throating older sisters, Gray and Vivi, never managed to do. But when Gray goes missing, leaving behind bizarre clues as to her whereabouts, Iris and Vivi are left to find her. But they aren't the only ones looking. And I'm planning on picking this up for a buddy read next month. Hey, another book that was sent to me, Verity by Colleen Hoover, and this was sent to me also by Mackenzie from Mackenzie Reads _. Thank you so much, Mackenzie. Again, another Colleen Hoover book. Like I said, I've been enjoying Colleen Hoover a lot. I like her romance style of writing. It's like the only books that I've really enjoyed in the romance genre. But this one I've heard that is her first romance, that it's also like a mystery novel. So I've heard someone goes missing and it's kind of like that mystery involved with some romance. Oh my god, I feel like I've been here forever. Like my butt hurts. Holy crap. So the next 2 books I got from the library, I got from the thrift store recently. The first one that I grabbed is Unwind by Neil Chesterman. I have read his Scythe series, and it's one of my favorite dystopian series of all time. I've heard that this one is also great, and I feel like I would really enjoy this. I love dystopian, it's one of my favorite genres, but again, I don't know what this is about, so we're gonna read the back. The Second Civil War was fought over reproductive rights. The chilling resolution, life is inviolable from the moment of conception until age 13. Between the ages of 13 and 18, however, parents can have their child unwound, whereby all of the child's organs are transplanted into different donors. Holy crap. So life doesn't technically end. Connor is too difficult for his parents to control. Risa, a ward of the state, is not talented enough to be kept alive. And Lev is a Thythe, a child conceived and raised to be unwound. Together they may have a chance to escape and to survive. Holy crap! This sounds intense. I'm so excited to read this now. The other book that I got at the library, guys, is Twilight by Stephanie Meyer. I've never owned Twilight. I never read Twilight. And I do think that my friend does want to do a reread of the Twilight series, so I picked it up because I want to reread it with them. And it has a freaking poster with Robert Pattinson's face on it, and I'm like really tempted to just send it to my friend Cami from Borrows and Books because she's obsessed with Robert Pattinson. It has like all the other people in it too, but I could just cut out Robert Pattinson for her and send it to her. If you don't know what Twilight is about, I don't know where you've been living, but this is a vampire novel. It's about this young girl, Bella Swan, who moves to Forks, Washington. She's like a new girl in school, and she falls in love with this boy named Edward, and then she finds out that he is a vampire. Alright guys, so those are all of the books that I have at the moment. Like I said, I do have some books coming my way soon, so I'm going to wait for them to get here, and then I'm gonna sit down and talk to y'all about those books, and that will be the end of this video then. But stick around because I have more books coming. Hello guys, so this is part 2 of the book haul. I am coming at ya on my vlog camera right now. So I waited about a week and a half for the package that I was like really excited for, but it's just not here. So I'm just gonna film the second part of the book haul. I have a couple of books that did come in the mail during that time, but I'm going to mention really quickly the books that did not get here on time. But with my luck, they'll probably be here tomorrow after I film this, or literally like right as I'm done filming, somebody will come knocking on my door. Like, that's just my luck, honestly. So the first book that did not get here on time, and this will make sense in just a few minutes, is Throne of Glass, and it is a hardcover. I got it off of Facebook Marketplace. And then the next two that did not get here on time are My Lovely Wife, and I forget the author, but because this is Jan's from Jan Agaton's, like one of her favorite books, so I really want to read it. I feel like someone's vacuuming upstairs and I feel like you can hear that. And then the other book that I ordered that still hasn't gotten here yet is Forever Interrupted by Taylor Jenkins Reid. They should be here soon because it's been almost 2 weeks, but I have to get this edited and uploaded, so I'm just gonna do this little section. But yes, Forever Interrupted by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I was super excited to show this book on this book haul because I'm actually going to be a co-host or like a guest host for Jan's Full Moon Book Club, and I believe we're reading this book in the month of July, but if I get the month wrong, I'll put it on the screen what month we're actually reading it, but I believe it is July, and I'm gonna be the guest host because Jan knows that I am a Taylor Jenkins Reid stan, so she invited me and I'm super excited. And I hope that y'all join and read this book with us. Alright, so for the books that I actually got, oh lord, how am I gonna do this? So I don't know if they're in order. I think you just saw one of them. But like I said, I got Throne of Glass off of Facebook Marketplace. And the reason why is because, oh my god, it's so heavy. Moni, I don't think she has a booktube. She has an Instagram. But Moni, a good friend and subscriber, sent me all of these books. They're so heavy. I need to put like my knee or something for support. But she sent me all of these beautiful books from the Throne of Glass series. I believe only the first 2 books in the series are missing, which are Throne of Glass, and I can't remember the second book. But yeah, she sent me all of these books and I'm so excited. Y'all know what Throne of Glass is, so I don't need to say. But this series is by Sarah J. Maas, and she wrote one of my favorite fantasy series, which is A Court of Thorns and Roses. I'm super excited to read it and give it another try because I actually read the first like 2 books Also, I read Heir of Fire and I read The Assassin's Blade, and then I DNF'd because I wasn't enjoying myself, but I did listen to the audiobooks. So I have heard that reading it physically is just a better experience, so I'm gonna give it another try because there is an adaptation coming out for this sometime soon. So I really want to read them. Thank you, Monique. So next up, I have a book that I'm going to be picking up next, actually, and that is Maybe Someday by Colleen Hoover. Colleen Hoover writes romance. So this is a romance novel. Exactly what it is about, I'm not too sure. But that's how I like going into Colleen Hoover's books, because they really, for me, they really take a turn, because I think they're about something and something else entirely happens. So I don't want to know what this book's about. So I'm excited to read it. And this is for a secret TBR video. And also the next book, Saint Anything by Sarah Dessing, is also for a secret TBR video. And I'm so excited to read this. Like I said in my May TBR video, which is already out, by the way, this is a romance novel. I'm excited to read it because I've never read Sarah Dessing before. And like I said on my May TBR, I really feel like I would be a different person if I had read Sarah Dessing when I was younger. And, you know, I'm going through it, so I feel like this book is just going to make me really happy. Hopefully not too sad, but I'm excited to read it. Like I said, it's a romance, and it's about this girl who is kind of shy and just keeps to herself, and something happens with her brother that lands him in jail. So she's kind of thrown into the spotlight, and then she meets this family. I forgot their name. Oh, the Cathams, I think. She meets this family and they kind of all become friends, and she feels very safe with them. And I'm assuming that there's a boy from that part of the family or something that she meets and she falls in love with, and it just sounds so cute, and it's summertime, so I'm just so excited. So I think a couple weekends ago was what is it called, Independent Bookstore Day. So I went to my local independent bookstore, and I didn't really see a lot of things that I liked, but at the time I was reading Pretty Girls by Karen Slaughter, so I was really enjoying it. And I saw this Karen Slaughter novel that I've never heard of before. It's called Triptych, I think. It is kind of like a detective mystery type of book. It is the first in a series, so I'm excited to read it. It's kind of mysterious, crime. We'll see how I like it. And only 2 more books, guys. So I picked both of these up from Facebook Marketplace. If you haven't joined like Facebook groups where people sell their books for really cheap, you totally should, because that's how I got most of these. But I got The Scent Keeper by Erica Bauermeister, not sure, but this is a Reese Witherspoon. It's one of her picks, and I saw this on a video that Nicole from Bon Bon Reads. She read this book and she compared this book to Where the Crawdads Sing, so I was like instant buy. I was super excited to see this on our Facebook group, and I instantly bought it because I loved Where the Crawdads Sing, and just that comparison really made me want to buy it. What is it about? I'm not too sure, honestly. It has something to do with scent, and I think it's like a historical fiction, but I honestly don't want to know much about it, so I'm not even gonna read it. But wow, for historical fiction, this is really short, so we'll see. We'll see. I'm excited to read it. And last but not least, the final book I got also from Facebook Marketplace, like I said, The Upside of Unrequited by Becky Albertalli. I adored Simon versus the Homo Sapiens Agenda. One of my all-time favorite books. I haven't read any more Becky Albertalli before, besides Simon, I guess. But I heard that this is going to become a movie or a TV show. I'm so excited because I loved the Love Simon movie, and then there's also the Love Victor TV show. So I'm just super excited to see what they're going to do with this novel, and I absolutely know nothing about this book, which is why I'm so excited, because I actually read Simon versus the Homo Sapiens Agenda after I watched the movie. So I'm super excited to read this. I don't know much about it, but I do think that the main character is a girl. So we shall see. It's a coming of age contemporary type of story, so if you're a fan of like John Green and Rainbow Rowell, you might enjoy this as well. All right, so those were all of the books for this book haul, and like I said, just my luck, I might get all of the books that I mentioned that I didn't get on time tomorrow. But at this point, I'm going to be filming and editing, I'm going to be editing this little book haul for you guys because it's supposed to be going out soon. So I hope you enjoyed it. It was a lot of books. I did not count, but it was probably more than 30. I kind of went on a little spree, but they were also very cheap, so I'm not too mad about it. So thank you so much for watching, and like, subscribe if you haven't yet, and I will see you next time. Bye!